Dark social is all about the content we share privately. Think direct messages, emails, or closed groups. Unlike public posts, these interactions are invisible to most analytics tools, making them hard to track but incredibly powerful. In 2025, dark social accounted for a staggering 60% of referral traffic, showing just how much influence these hidden channels have. Understanding dark social means recognizing that real conversations and recommendations often happen out of sight, shaping opinions and decisions in ways traditional marketing can't reach. If you want to connect, influence, and build trust, learning how to navigate these private spaces is essential. Dark social is the hidden layer of online sharing. Think private messages, emails, and closed groups, where conversations and recommendations happen out of sight. Most marketers miss this activity because traditional analytics tools can't track what's shared in these private spaces. Yet these unseen exchanges shape real influence, as people trust content passed directly from friends or peers far more than public posts. When someone shares a link in a group chat, it often sparks genuine interest and engagement, quietly driving trends and decisions. Understanding dark social means recognizing that the most powerful connections often happen where the spotlight doesn't reach. In 2025, dark social channels, like private messages, emails, and closed groups, accounted for a striking 60% of all referral traffic. This shift reveals a fundamental change in how people share and consume content online. Instead of posting publicly, users increasingly prefer intimate, trusted spaces to exchange ideas and recommendations. For marketers and creators, this means that influence now happens behind closed doors, where genuine connection and subtle social skills matter more than ever. Understanding this behavior is key to building real trust and staying relevant in a world where visibility is shaped by private conversations. Most conversations happen behind closed doors, in private messages and closed groups. That's where dark social thrives, and where your influence can quietly grow. By using analytics tools to monitor referral traffic from these hidden channels, you unlock real insights into what people share and discuss when no one's watching. This data reveals which content truly resonates, helping you fine-tune your approach and connect more authentically. Think of it as listening in on the whispers that shape real opinions and decisions. To truly understand where your audience is most active, start by pinpointing the messaging apps and closed groups that generate the highest engagement in your niche. Think of these spaces as digital corridors where real conversations and recommendations happen away from public view. Use analytics tools and direct feedback to map out which platforms, whether it's WhatsApp, Telegram, or private Facebook groups, are fueling the most meaningful interactions. By focusing your efforts on these hotspots, you'll tap into the pulse of your community and gain insights that public metrics often miss. This approach lets you connect more authentically and influence where trust is built behind closed doors. UTM parameters are your secret weapon for tracking how your content travels through dark social channels. By adding these small code snippets to your links, you can see exactly where your audience is sharing and engaging, even when it happens in private messages or closed groups. Imagine sending a link in a group chat and later discovering which conversations sparked the most interest. This approach gives you concrete data on what resonates, letting you fine-tune your strategy for maximum impact. With UTM tracking, you move from guesswork to actionable insights, making every share count. Engaging with niche communities is one of the most effective ways to build genuine trust and spark organic sharing. When you participate in closed groups or forums that align with your interests or expertise, you're not just another face in the crowd, you become a valued contributor. Imagine joining a small, focused discussion where people are eager to exchange insights and recommendations. By consistently offering helpful advice and authentic interaction, you naturally encourage others to share your content within their private circles. This subtle approach amplifies your influence and helps your message travel further, all without feeling forced or artificial. If you want your message to travel fast and far, focus on content people actually want to share in private. Memes, infographics, and concise tips are perfect for this. They're easy to pass along in group chats or direct messages. Imagine someone sending a clever meme to a friend or forwarding a quick tip that solves a real problem. When your content feels personal and useful, it naturally finds its way into closed circles. This is how you tap into the hidden power of dark social and build influence where it matters most. Hack number 6 is all about using the mirror technique within closed group conversations. When you reflect the tone, language, and style of the group, you instantly become more relatable and trustworthy. Imagine joining a private chat where everyone communicates with quick, informal messages. By matching their style, you signal that you belong. This subtle approach helps you build rapport, making others more likely to engage and share with you. It's a simple shift, but it can dramatically increase your influence in those hard-to-access social spaces. The yes ladder is a powerful technique for building momentum in social sharing. Start by encouraging your audience to take a small, easy action, like forwarding a message to one friend or sharing a tip in a private group. Each small yes creates a sense of progress and makes it easier for people to agree to bigger requests later, such as sharing your content with their entire network. This gradual approach taps into our natural desire to stay consistent with previous actions, making each step feel effortless. By stacking these small wins, you transform casual engagement into meaningful influence. When you ask someone to share your content, don't just make the request, give them a reason. The word because is powerful. It taps into our natural tendency to seek justification before taking action. For example, instead of saying share this article, try share this article because it can help your friends sleep better tonight. People are far more likely to pass along your message when they understand the benefit or purpose behind it. By using because, you make your content feel more relevant and valuable, increasing the chances it will travel through those private, hard-to-track channels. Imagine you're part of a close-knit group chat, and suddenly you receive early access to a new guide or video, just because someone in your circle shared it privately. This is the power of offering exclusive content to those who spread your message through dark social channels. By rewarding private sharing with special perks, you tap into people's natural desire for insider status and connection. It's a subtle yet effective way to build trust, spark curiosity, and encourage more organic engagement. The result? Your content travels further, reaching audiences who value authenticity and personal recommendations. Storytelling is your secret weapon for making messages stick and spread, especially in private conversations and closed groups. When you share a story, people don't just remember the facts, they remember the feeling, the lesson, and the connection. Imagine describing a simple tip using a real-life scenario. Suddenly, it's relatable and worth sharing in a group chat or over coffee. This technique taps into our natural desire to connect and helps your message travel further, even in spaces where traditional tracking fails. If you want your ideas to move quietly but powerfully through dark social channels, start with a story that resonates. Referral programs aren't just for public posts. They can be a powerful tool in private group sharing. By offering incentives that feel personal and relevant, you encourage people to share your content within their trusted circles. Imagine someone forwarding your offer in a closed chat because the reward genuinely excites them. This approach taps into the psychology of reciprocity and belonging, making your message more likely to spread organically. When you tailor incentives to the interests of these private communities, you build deeper connections and amplify your reach where it matters most. Collaborating with micro-influencers who are deeply involved in niche private communities can give your message a powerful boost. These individuals have earned trust within their circles, making their recommendations feel genuine and personal. When they share your content, it travels through closed channels where engagement is often higher and more meaningful. By tapping into these tight-knit networks, you not only increase your reach but also build authentic connections with audiences who value subtlety and credibility. This approach leverages the psychology of influence, turning quiet endorsements into lasting impact. Direct messaging is a powerful tool for building genuine one-on-one connections. When you reach out privately, your message feels personal and tailored, making the recipient more likely to engage and share. Imagine sending a thoughtful note or a relevant tip. Suddenly, your content isn't just another post, but a conversation starter. This approach taps into the psychology of reciprocity and trust, encouraging people to pass your message along within their own circles. By focusing on personalized sharing, you create a ripple effect that amplifies your influence far beyond public channels. When you want your message to travel through private channels, focus on emotion. People instinctively share content that makes them feel, whether it's surprise, joy, or even a touch of nostalgia. Think about the last time a story made you laugh or reflect. Chances are you passed it along. By tapping into genuine feelings, your words become memorable and contagious. Emotional resonance is the secret ingredient that transforms ordinary messages into viral ones. If you want your content to spread through private channels, make sharing as simple as possible. People are far more likely to pass something along when the instructions are clear and the links are easy to copy. Think of it like handing someone a ready-made invitation. They don't have to think, just share. This small tweak removes friction and turns casual interest into real influence. The easier you make it, the more your message travels behind the scenes. Humor is one of the fastest ways to lower defenses and create genuine connection. When you share a funny or relatable story, you invite others to respond privately, often sparking conversations that go deeper than surface-level chat. Think of it as the social equivalent of a wink: subtle, inviting, and memorable. People are drawn to those who can make them laugh or feel understood, especially in private channels where authenticity matters most. By weaving humor and relatability into your messages, you open doors to meaningful exchanges that build trust and influence. Trending topics have a magnetic pull. They spark curiosity and invite private conversations. When you tap into these subjects, you're not just joining the discussion, you're positioning yourself where people are most engaged and candid. Think about how a hot news story or viral meme gets passed around in group chats or whispered about in closed circles. By aligning your content with what's already buzzing, you make it easier for others to share and discuss your message behind the scenes. This approach lets you ride the wave of natural interest, boosting your influence in spaces where authentic connection thrives. When you share a social hack, don't just explain the theory. Bring it to life with a mini scenario or a real-world example. Imagine you're at a networking event and you use the mirror technique. You subtly match the other person's body language, and suddenly, the conversation feels more natural. These vivid stories make your advice memorable and easy to apply. People remember practical examples far more than abstract tips, so turn your hacks into relatable moments that stick. Empathy is your secret weapon for making content truly resonate. When you tap into the everyday anxieties and desires people experience, like the fear of missing out or the need for genuine connection, you create messages that feel personal and relevant. Imagine someone scrolling late at night, looking for reassurance or a quick tip to boost their confidence. If your content speaks directly to those feelings, it's far more likely to be shared in private conversations and closed groups. By understanding and reflecting your audience's emotional landscape, you naturally encourage them to pass your insights along, amplifying your reach through dark social channels. Encouraging feedback and dialogue within private groups is a powerful way to deepen engagement. When you invite members to share their thoughts and experiences, you create a space where genuine connections can form. This approach not only strengthens trust, but also gives you direct insights into what resonates with your audience. Imagine a closed chat where people feel comfortable voicing their opinions. Suddenly, your content becomes a conversation, not just a broadcast. By fostering this kind of interaction, you build a loyal community that's more likely to support and share your message. When you share practical tips that genuinely solve everyday problems, people are far more likely to pass them along in private conversations. Think about the last time you received a clever hack in a group chat. It probably came from someone who knew it would make your life easier. This kind of content naturally travels through direct messages and closed communities, where trust and relevance matter most. By focusing on actionable advice, you tap into the human desire to help others and build connection, making your message part of the invisible web of dark social sharing. Visual storytelling is your shortcut to deeper influence in private conversations. Images and short videos travel fast through direct messages and closed groups, often sparking more genuine reactions than text alone. When you share a compelling visual, you invite others to connect emotionally and pass it along, multiplying your reach in spaces that analytics rarely touch. Think of it as planting a seed. One striking image or clip can quietly ripple through networks, building trust and curiosity. If you want your message to stick and spread, make it visual, memorable, and easy to share. Building anticipation is a powerful social skill, especially when you use teasers and sneak peeks tailored for private groups. Imagine sharing a glimpse of your next big idea in a closed community. People feel special, included, and naturally curious. This subtle approach taps into the psychology of exclusivity, making your audience more likely to engage and spread the word. When you create content that feels like a secret, you invite genuine connection and influence. Try this technique and watch how anticipation turns quiet interest into active participation. Imagine receiving a message that feels like a secret invitation, content that isn't just public, but reserved for a select few. When you create a sense of exclusivity around your content, you tap into a powerful psychological trigger. People love to feel part of something special. This approach makes sharing your message feel like passing along a privilege, not just a link. It's the difference between a generic broadcast and a whispered tip in a closed group. By framing your content as exclusive, you encourage deeper engagement and more meaningful connections, turning your audience into loyal advocates. When you want your message to travel further, don't just hope people will share it, invite them directly. A clear call to action, like share this with someone who needs it, taps into the power of trust and personal connection. People are far more likely to pass along content when they feel it's relevant to someone close to them. This approach leverages the psychology of recommendation, making your content part of private conversations. It's a simple shift, but it can dramatically increase your reach through dark social channels. Closed group polls and surveys are a powerful way to ignite genuine engagement. When you ask for opinions in a private setting, people feel safe to share their thoughts and are more likely to participate. This sense of exclusivity sparks curiosity and encourages members to invite others or share results within their own circles. By framing your questions around topics that matter to the group, you create a ripple effect. Your content travels further, fueled by real conversations and connections. Use this technique to tap into the subtle psychology of belonging and influence, and watch your reach quietly expand. Sharing behind-the-scenes content is one of the simplest ways to build real connection. When you let people see the process, the mistakes, and the moments that don't make it into the polished final product, you invite them into your world. Authenticity sparks curiosity and trust. People are far more likely to share something that feels genuine. Imagine sending a quick video of your workspace or a candid story about a challenge you faced. It's these personal touches that travel fastest through private channels. The more your audience feels like insiders, the more they'll want to pass your story along. When you introduce a time-sensitive offer in a private conversation, you tap into a powerful psychological trigger: urgency. People are more likely to act when they feel an opportunity might slip away soon. Imagine sharing a limited-time discount or exclusive access via a direct message. Suddenly, your offer feels personal and immediate. This approach not only boosts engagement, but also encourages quick decisions, making your message stand out in the crowded world of dark social. Use this hack to motivate action and create a sense of exclusivity in your private interactions. Building a reputation for sharing valuable, actionable insights in closed communities is a powerful way to stand out. When you consistently offer practical advice and solutions, people begin to see you as a trusted resource. This trust opens doors to deeper connections and influence, especially in spaces where information is shared privately. Imagine being the person others tag or message when they need help. Your credibility grows with every useful tip you provide. Over time, this reputation can lead to more opportunities, stronger relationships, and a network that actively seeks your input. When you want someone to share your content, focus on what's in it for the person receiving it. Instead of simply asking, "Can you forward this?" show how the information could help, entertain, or solve a problem for their friend. People are much more likely to pass something along if they believe it will make them look thoughtful or helpful. By framing your message around the recipient's needs, you tap into a subtle social instinct, the desire to be seen as a connector and a source of value. This simple shift can dramatically boost your content's reach within private networks. When you communicate in private groups, clarity is your greatest asset. Simple, direct language cuts through confusion and makes your message accessible to everyone, regardless of background or expertise. Imagine sharing a tip in a closed chat. If your words are clear and relatable, people are more likely to engage and pass it along. This approach builds trust and connection, helping your ideas spread naturally within tight-knit communities. By keeping things straightforward, you make it easy for others to understand, remember, and share your message. Think about the last time you shared a quick tip or checklist with a friend in a private chat. That simple act is the essence of dark social influence. By creating shareable checklists or cheat sheets, you give people practical tools they can pass along instantly. No public posts required. These bite-sized resources are easy to reference and even easier to share, making them perfect for closed groups or direct messages. When your content solves a real problem or streamlines a task, it naturally spreads through trusted circles, amplifying your reach where traditional analytics often can't follow. Imagine you're part of a close-knit group chat where everyone shares similar interests. By offering personalized recommendations tailored to what matters most to that group, you instantly become more influential and trusted. This approach isn't just about suggesting products or content. It's about showing genuine understanding of the group's needs and dynamics. When your advice feels relevant and thoughtful, people are far more likely to act on it and share it within their private circles. It's a subtle way to build connection and credibility, making your influence grow naturally. Storytelling isn't just about entertaining. It's a powerful tool for sparking conversation and connection. When you use storytelling arcs that leave questions unanswered or invite reflection, people feel compelled to share and discuss your content privately. Imagine sharing a story that ends with a subtle twist or an open-ended question. It naturally encourages your audience to pass it along in group chats or direct messages. This approach taps into our need for connection and curiosity, making your message travel further through dark social channels. The result is deeper engagement and organic growth, all fueled by the simple act of telling a story that people want to talk about. Think about how often you share something interesting with a friend through a quick message on your phone. If your content isn't mobile-friendly, it's like putting up a barrier between your ideas and the conversations that matter. Clean layouts, fast loading times, and readable text make it effortless for someone to pass your message along in WhatsApp, Messenger, or a group chat. When your content is easy to share, it naturally finds its way into private circles where real influence happens. This simple tweak can turn casual viewers into active promoters, amplifying your reach without extra effort. Subtle branding is a powerful tool when you want your content to travel far and wide, especially through private channels like direct messages or closed groups. Instead of loud logos or heavy-handed slogans, focus on small visual cues, a unique color palette, a signature style, or a discrete watermark. This way, your content feels personal and shareable, but still carries your identity wherever it goes. People are more likely to pass it along when it doesn't feel like an advertisement, yet your brand remains unmistakably present. It's a simple shift that can dramatically increase both reach and recognition in dark social spaces. Group challenges and collaborative activities are powerful tools for sparking private engagement. When you invite people to work together on a shared goal, you tap into their natural desire for connection and teamwork. These activities often move conversations out of public feeds and into private messages or closed groups, where real influence happens. By making the challenge fun and relevant, you encourage participants to share ideas, motivate each other, and build trust, all away from the spotlight. This subtle shift can dramatically boost the depth and quality of your social interactions. Sharing quick wins is one of the most effective ways to build influence and spark conversation. When you offer a tip that delivers immediate results, people feel an instant boost and are naturally inclined to pass it along. Think of it as planting seeds. Each practical insight you share travels through private channels, multiplying your reach without you even seeing it. The more actionable and relevant your advice, the more likely it is to create a ripple effect in closed groups and direct messages. Focus on simplicity and real-world impact, and you'll notice your ideas spreading faster than you expect. Curiosity is a powerful motivator in human psychology. When you craft headlines that spark intrigue, people feel compelled to share them privately, often in direct messages or closed groups, just to get others' reactions. Think of a headline that leaves a question hanging or hints at a surprising twist. It's like handing someone a secret they can't resist passing along. This technique taps into our natural desire for connection and conversation, making your content travel further through dark social channels. Use curiosity wisely, and you'll see your ideas spreading in places most marketers can't even track. Trust is the currency of influence, especially in closed group settings where connections run deeper. When you consistently deliver on your promises, people notice, and they remember. Imagine sharing a tip or offering help in a private forum, then following through every time. This reliability quietly builds your reputation, making others more likely to listen, share, and support you. In these tight-knit circles, your word becomes your bond, and trust becomes your strongest asset. Encouraging the sharing of user-generated content within private channels is a subtle yet powerful way to build trust and influence. When someone shares their own experience or story in a closed group or direct message, it feels authentic and personal, far more persuasive than a public post. You can spark this kind of sharing by highlighting real stories, asking for feedback, or simply making it easy for users to pass content along privately. This approach taps into the psychology of belonging and recommendation, helping your message travel quietly but effectively through networks where genuine connection matters most. Gratitude is a powerful motivator, especially within private groups where trust and connection matter most. When you recognize someone's contribution or thank them for sharing, you tap into their desire to feel valued and appreciated. This simple act can spark a ripple effect, encouraging others to share more freely and actively participate. Imagine acknowledging a member's insightful comment. Suddenly, others feel inspired to contribute, knowing their efforts won't go unnoticed. By weaving genuine recognition into your interactions, you create a culture where sharing becomes second nature. Feedback loops are your secret weapon for mastering social influence. When you pay attention to how people respond to your content or ideas, you gain real-time insights into what resonates and what falls flat. By adjusting your approach based on this feedback, you naturally increase the chances that others will share and support your message. Imagine tweaking a conversation or a post just slightly, and suddenly it spreads through private channels like wildfire. This simple habit not only sharpens your strategy but also builds trust and connection with your audience. If you want your insights to truly resonate, share real case studies that show how dark social hacks drive results. For example, imagine a brand that boosted its referral traffic by 60% simply by encouraging private sharing in niche communities. When you break down the steps they took, like monitoring private channels and collaborating with influencers, you give your audience a clear blueprint to follow. These actionable stories make the benefits tangible, helping others see exactly how subtle tweaks and strategy can lead to measurable influence and deeper connections. It's not just theory, it's practical psychology in action. Interactive content, such as quizzes and games, is a powerful way to spark engagement within private groups. When you introduce a fun challenge or a thought-provoking quiz, members are naturally drawn to participate and share their results with others. This not only boosts activity, but also creates a sense of community and connection. In these closed spaces, interactive experiences can break the ice, encourage conversation, and subtly position you as a trusted source of value. Try tailoring your content to the interests of the group and watch how quickly engagement grows behind the scenes. If you want your content to spread quickly through private channels, make it relevant to what's happening right now. People are far more likely to share posts that connect to current events or trending topics. They want to feel in the loop and offer value to their friends. For example, referencing a viral moment or a recent news story can spark instant engagement. This approach taps into the natural human desire to be seen as informed and connected. By aligning your message with the pulse of the moment, you increase the chances that your content will travel further and reach new audiences through dark social networks. Imagine you're part of a tight-knit online group, and suddenly, you get access to a special discount that's not available anywhere else. That's the power of group-exclusive perks. They spark curiosity and make members feel valued. When you offer these incentives, people are naturally more likely to share them privately with friends or within their closed communities. This approach doesn't just boost engagement, it creates a sense of belonging and turns your audience into active promoters. By tapping into these private circles, you amplify your reach in ways that public posts simply can't match. When you communicate with clarity and confidence, People instinctively see you as someone who knows what they're talking about. This isn't just about sounding sure of yourself. It's about making your message easy to understand and impossible to ignore. Imagine entering a conversation where your words are precise and your tone is steady. Others will naturally lean in, listen, and trust your perspective. Clear, confident messaging sets the stage for authority, making it easier for others to follow your lead and share your ideas within their own circles. In a world crowded with noise, being direct and assured helps you cut through and build genuine influence. Building long-term relationships starts with consistent engagement in private channels. When you reply thoughtfully to direct messages or participate in closed groups, you show genuine interest and reliability. Over time, these small interactions build trust and make others more likely to share valuable insights or opportunities with you. Think of it as nurturing a garden. Regular attention leads to deeper connections and lasting influence. By making private conversations a priority, you create a network that supports you beyond public interactions. Dark social is where real influence happens, quietly, behind the scenes, in private messages and closed groups. The most effective hacks focus on building trust, creating content people want to share, and showing up in the right communities. Use the mirror technique to reflect your audience's language, making your message feel personal and relatable. Incentivize sharing with simple referral programs and collaborate with influencers who already have the ear of niche groups. When you combine these strategies, you don't just boost engagement, you create lasting connections that ripple through networks you can't always see, but definitely feel.